Greetings! You're probably wondering who the hell I am. Some sort of mad scientist, hmm? Well, I am not mad. Not yet, anyway. I am Director Architer, former and future Director Architer of Architer Labs, which I founded. I'm presently suspended. I don't really want to get into it here. Anyhow, I'm here to do a guest video for Chambers of My Heart, and they've been very patient, so I need to make this one good. I want to introduce you to a very strange Muslim imam. Not that I think there are that many other kinds. Then again, what do I know? Just never mind. Take a look.
My father made the choice, and he was an imam himself and still is. He made the choice to come to Australia because it was a non-Muslim country. Now, if we knew that after 30 years we're going to have burqas running around and mosques being erected in every corner and people proposing Sharia law against democracy in this country, we wouldn't have come.
The Imam of Peace, Imam Tawhidi. He's a very serious Islam reformist. He's pushing for reform, and he's willing to say all the really unpleasant things to get the attention for that end. That was just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. The next one is the real sparky bit.
Now, I know there are some politicians in recent times that have stood up and they're very against Islam. And they want to tell people that Islam is a very dangerous religion. Why do they say that? Now, I don't oppose these politicians because I know exactly what filth is in my religion. I know exactly what's going on, which is why I don't speak out against them. I'm against generalizing because there are good Muslims, but the main message behind it, I agree with.
Oh, I bet you didn't expect an imam of any sort to be saying that. Statements like that are why a lot of people like to imagine that Imam Tawhidi is a fake imam, why the Australian National Imam Council has refused to recognize Imam Tawhidi as an imam. But this doesn't hold as much weight as you might imagine, for you see, Imam Tawhidi is a Shia Muslim, whereas the Australian National Imam Council is entirely Sunni. So this means that their refusal to acknowledge him is like a Council of Southern Baptists refusing to recognize a Methodist as a real preacher. No, I don't think it quite works that way. Well, anyway, let's have some more from Mr. Tawhidi, shall we?
I believe that the entire religion needs a review. I believe that there are certain books that need to be banned from this country.
See, now this is one of the things that even I don't agree with him on. I don't think you need to ban the books. Why, the books do nothing. They're just a bunch of letters in paper, and don't compel people to do bad things necessarily. There are a lot of seedy passages in the Bible and other holy books, but people don't go around killing gays for the Christian God, even though they could claim there's justification. At least, they don't do that much anymore. When it comes to the faith, the religion being dangerous in general, in fact, I think there needs to be a certain grain of salt taken, for you see, any faith can be quite dangerous. No religion is even necessary. The communists prove that quite aptly, I feel, and if you don't believe there's anything like a evangelistic, overzealous atheist, then you probably haven't been on the internet that long. But at least that's relatively harmless. You see, the difference is not so much the faith as in the practice of the faith. Faith is belief. Let's say that I may or may not believe in Gosh the Nebulous, possible eldritch thing and bringer of uncertainty. Now, if I just believe that, then that's fine. There's really no problem. But if, as a exercise of my faith in Gosh Nebulous I was to go around throwing mathematicians off of rooftops, that would be very bad. Why, unacceptable, even. Where was I? Oh yes, back to Imam Tawhidi.
In Australia, where there's freedom of speech and where there's democracy, many Muslims do not find it safe to speak out against extremism in their country. At all. And when I say they're afraid, they're not afraid of isolation, they're afraid of death. And I've been very close to that. And God saved me many times.
And when you listen to that, when you consider that the vast majority of victims to Islamic radicalism are Muslims, it's very hard to disbelieve what he's saying. Very hard. And yet, some people find a way. Detractors have said that Mr. Tawhidi is just doing this for the attention. But I can't help but think that there are far less dangerous ways of gathering that attention. And while he is often labeled as the Imam the Islam haters love, when it comes down to it, both his detractors and his allies often twist his words to their own ends. Imam Tawhidi doesn't call for the mass deport of Muslims. He doesn't call for the arrest of Muslims. He doesn't call for an end to the Islamic faith. But he does seriously and strenuously call for reform. So, as you can imagine, he needs all the help he can get. If you are intrigued, I encourage you to look up Imam Tawhidi. He has a very amusing Twitter profile and his own website now. I will try to have some links below for you. In the meantime, if you have been entertained, then on my own channel I try to comment on things like this, as well as contemplate SCP files, secure, contain, protect. In the meantime, progress continues.